Hey guys, and welcome to Gwent, the Witcher card game. My name is Jaggerus, and today I'm playing on the public test servers on the PTR, and this is where you can play with the upcoming balance changes. So while there's no new cards, there have been some balance changes, and one of those changes was they added some strength to Dwarven Merc, which made me want to play a movement Scoia'tael deck. So that is the deck that I have for you guys at the moment, and this is actually a kind of work in progress deck, so bear that in mind, but I've been having some success with it on the PTR. The gist of the deck is that Movement Scoia'tael doesn't really have a great final round finisher, so we've made a Nova movement deck. Nova, if you have exactly 2 copies of each bronze card in your starting deck, she strengthens herself to 22, so she's a 22-point play. And then we're kind of just playing around that. So that is kind of where we are at the moment. In terms of our other golds, we have Zoltan and Ard, which work really nicely with the movement archetype. This allows us to move enemies, this allows us to move enemies or allies. And then we have Igni. As we can put a lot of units on one row, Igni can be quite useful. Although, potentially, you could switch out Igni for a different gold card if you find that you're dealing too much damage and not seeing value in him. For our silvers, we have Yavin. Yavin, draw a special card, and a unit, keep one and return the other to your deck. And he's spying. And these actually now have a timer, which means that you can't decoy Yavin. If you decoy him, you literally just give your points to your opponent. You take him off your board and put him on the opponent's side. You don't get to draw. And similarly, you can't use Summoning Circle on them anymore. Then we have Nivellen, move all units on a row to random rows. And you can do this with your own units or with your opponents, but this is really good for repositioning your opponent's cards, and it synergizes really nicely with the Dolblathana Bowman, because we can basically stack a bunch of units onto one row, and then when we move them all with Nivellen, the Dolblathana Bowman, whenever an enemy moves, deals 2 damage to it, so we can then shoot the targets that we move with Nivellen. Then we have Aeromancer, which gives us Weather, which is really nice if you're row stacking, that you can guarantee units are in the weather. Or Alzur's Thunder, which is good for removal. We have Ida, Emin, Ape, Sivne. You can see they've actually put full names in now. So we have Ida. She gives us Fog, Clear Skies, or Alzur's Thunder, so again, weather. Similarly, Skellige Storm is more weather, and Decoy is really nice on cards like, Aeromancer, like Ida, like Nivellen. Not Yavin, because obviously that doesn't work, but also on your movement cards, like Vreehead Brigade. We're playing this just for movement. It also gives us Weather Clear. Then we have the Dwarven Mercs, which have been boosted, and they synergize nicely with the Dwarven Agitators. Spawn a base copy of a random different bronze card from your deck. The only other card we have is Merc, so that's what we get. Dolblathana I mentioned. Blue Mountain Elite, summon all copies of this unit. Whenever this unit moves, boost self by 2. It's not the best unit, it's only a 6-point play, but it gives us a little bit of thinning. And also they do benefit from being moved. Then we have Elven Mercenary. Look at 2 bronze special cards from your deck, then play 1. And our bronze special cards are Lacerate, which is obviously strong against row stacks, and Recon, which also look at 2 bronze units in your deck, then play 1. So this is also good against, good in this deck just for finding more bronze units and thinning the deck. So that is the gist, and then Ethne is our leader, which will allow us to replay any weather that we play. So if we play weather off of Ida or off of Aeromancer, we can replay it. Similarly, Skellige Storm, Decoy, Lacerate, and Recon. That's the deck. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button. And without further ado, I'll jump into a game and showcase this deck in action for you.
My folk have suffered much. Humans have no place in Broccolon.
Okay, so we're against the Francesca deck, which is usually hand buff. In terms of our mulligan, we like to get rid of, Lacerates and Recon. So we'll get rid of a Lacerate, then a Recon. This is the timer thing I was talking about. And we can also mulligan Dwarven Merc, although we do risk pulling a Blue Mountain Elite if we do that. But we want these in our deck so that agitators aren't dead. And we took the risk and got Ida, so it's not too bad. Would have been nice to get Skellige Storm. Skellige Storm is really strong in this deck. But all in all, it's pretty much okay. So we can basically just straight kill this if we want with Ida. But if we do that, we are then sacrificing some of our weather play. Because if we do that, we don't have another way of playing weather. Alternatively, we can play the Blue Mountain Elites and just get them out of our deck for now. And that's usually not a bad strategy. It means he gets 1 point off the Dragoon, but we can always kill the Dragoon at a later date.
This moment, I've seen it
so
already.
This is where we kind of come up with the choice, whether we want to play weather or removal. It's difficult because we don't have more weather. I think we play the removal.
The time of the white frost.
Because we can always Ethne more removal. We can Ethne the Alzur's Thunder as well, so that's not too bad. If we had Decoy, it would be good, because we could have then replayed Ida and also added some weather. And that would have been pretty nice. It kind of just depends what it is that you're playing against. Because obviously killing units is always useful, but it depends really where we are. So we'll play the Bowman now. And we'll shoot the Farseer. And then every time we move a unit, we get more damage. So that's kind of what's going to happen here. And like I say, it's just a little unfortunate. This might be Morin. If this is Morin, then what we want to do is we want to play... the Vreehead Brigade, realistically. And then we want to move a unit to the front row. Because that gives us better value from Ard. Yeah, so it was Morin. So you saw there, she flips and deals 7 damage. We're down 11, but we can make 11 very easily with either of these cards.
You shall taste of your own medicine.
The other thing is the way that the game works is it buffs units from front to back. So having these guys on the front row is quite useful for us. We could play Ard here. We're going to get extra shots out with the Ard because of how this game is, or this match has been set up. Like, basically this is worth 15, but because we get 2 extra shots from this, it's actually worth 21. We're down a fair bit though. We are down about 30 points. Well, exactly 30 points. But we can actually make that up in 2 plays, so that's not too bad. So we'll play the Agitator, and in this case it's actually more beneficial for us to move a Blue Mountain Elite than it is to move an opponent, because if we move an opponent they get shot, but this guy, if you move an ally, he also boosts by 3, and if you move a Blue Mountain Elite they boost by 2, so you know that's not a bad play there. It's a 14-point play. And again, we can easily catch her up if needs be. It's just a little bit unfortunate, like I said, we didn't get any weather. And this deck does have a lot of weather. You know, it has Ida, it has Skellige Storm, it has Aeromancy. Like, there's a fair amount of weather in here, but we had to, I think we did have to commit to the Elsa's Thunder, realistically. So the question we now want to ask ourselves is whether we want to push this round or not. Again, we're down quite a few points. I think, ultimately... But we give her control of the round is a problem if we do that, so maybe we just keep going. I'm just trying to work out how many points behind I am. I am 30 for 20... Oh, not too bad. 25 points behind. So this is a 14-point play, and this is 21-point play. So that's 25 exactly. That's a bit awkward. Let's just play Yavin, I think. And there's Skellige Storm, which will be useful in a long round. The problem is, like, she'll probably pass here. Yeah. Can we catch her in 1 card? The answer is probably not. Well, 2 cards. Even then, the answer is probably not. Let's just pass. And hopefully we'll get a dry pass here, so that she's going to try and secure last play. But if she does that, we can then get a long round with, like, Skellige Storm. And we can double Skellige Storm because of Ithne, so it's quite nice. Nivellen, Recon. So we'll mulligan the Recon. We got Ciri, that's pretty good. And there's a dry pass, so we play the Vreehead Brigade. And then we can pass as well. And yeah, all in all, I would say this is a pretty good position for us. Because we can stack units into Weather with Zoltan, and we can move units about with Ard. The ideal card that we'd want to find here is a Bowman. I think a Bowman would be really good here. Elven Merc's not bad, and I don't want to mulligan her in case I... Well, actually, you know, if I get a special card, it's actually okay. So maybe we do mulligan her. We got a Lacerate. So she would have maybe given us a Lacerate anyway, so it's not really too bad. And the main problem that realistically we have actually here is we don't have a huge number of movements. I mean, we have Ard, but that goes back a row, and we have Chevet, and we have 1 Agitator. So not huge amounts of movement, but we do have a lot of row effects. So if we weather rows and she starts stacking a 3rd row, then we have, you know, Lacerate and stuff, and we can force things off of that row with Nivellen, so it should be okay. Oh, it's my turn. What do we open with? I guess we open with Nova. Realistically, he's going to be able to react to it anyway, so we're better to just play her now. Because every other play we have is reactive, and because of the card situation, he has last play, so it's kind of okay. So let's play the Skellige Storm. And then we can move units into the Skellige Storm with Dwarven Agitator.
We ought to help one or the other.
The alternative is we can actually also play a second Skellige Storm with Ithne. And actually that might be worth doing, because then it forces him to play units on the middle row. And if we force him into playing units on the middle row, what we've achieved there is... he's looking at my graveyard. What we've achieved there is... Oh, I'm going to have to stack for Igni, though, because I shouldn't have put her in the back row. What we've achieved there is put them in an awkward position. I think we're going to just full commit to the Skellige Storms and weather both of them. I don't think she has a clear. I'm hoping she doesn't have a clear. Because if she has a clear, then that's kind of awkward for us, to be completely honest with you. And then once there's enough units on the middle row, we can also Nivellen them onto the other rows. So it's kind of fine.
Drink this, you'll feel better.
Okay, Iglace. So this is fine, because what we can do... we'll play this. Play this. And just take her off out of the storm. Buff her up. It does open us up to Igni, which is a little unfortunate, but you always have that risk in this situation. Okay. So now I think we can probably afford to Nivellen them. Or we could push them all back. With Ard. Yeah, let's do that.
Not your lucky day.
And you can see we just have a crazy amount of attrition here. The thing is, we actually have so much mobility that it's kind of okay what we do. We can play this for 9.
Swords I smile at, weapons laugh to scorn.
I mean, at the moment we may as well just play this, because we can move multiple units with Zoltan, so we want to wait until there are multiple units. Alternatively, what we do is we play Nivellen and push these 2 off the row and then pull them all onto the same row. Which is not a bad play either. And then we can pull some units to the front row, for example. Jesus Christ, so much work being put in by the weather.
When the white frost comes, do not eat the yellow snow.
Oof, painful. And this is actually not great because, you know, she's only worth 2. And we don't really want to pull units to the back row, so maybe we just use this to buff our own units, in which case we play him here. And pull these 3 onto this row and just buff them. Because we're going to get value out of the weather anyway. We got another 3 points, so we're on about 34. So can she get up to 34 in one play?
The only good human is a dead human.
And the answer is no. And movement is also really good against to reveal, because that'll be to reveal. Not enough baby cakes. Although she didn't really get to use her hand buff strategy because we used the Elza's Thunder in the first round, and that was really smart. Because the whole point of these Elven Swordmasters is that you buff them and then you kill your opponent's units. Anyway, let's jump into another game and I'll showcase this deck in action once more for you.
Humans have no place in Brokilon. I respect nothing human.
Okay, so we got the Ethne Mirror. 2 Bowman is really good. We're going to mulligan Recon. Mulligan this chickie. And we'll mulligan a Dwarf. Actually, I possibly should have mulliganed the Weather Clear, but... You know, because we have Ida, but maybe this is going to turn out useful. Maybe not, but maybe. I'm wondering if playing 2 Blue Mountain Elites makes them think that I'm... I just bricked my hand and it's not a Nova deck. The thing is, like... If you build this deck without Nova, it's a little bit easier to play the movement because you have more bowmen and stuff, and you can fit in maybe a little bit more weather and whatnot. But on the flip side, you then don't have a final round finisher.
Damn it. Don't like the look of this.
We played Ragnarok. Why don't we just pass? Actually, let's play Ida.
The time of the white frost.
Oh, I didn't even need to play
White
Ida here.
is now.
I could have played Vreehead Brigade, and it would have been fine. But now we can Ethne Weather Clear, so that's good. There's the pass. So, question, do we want a long round?
Not bad at all.
Or do we want a short round? I think we want a long round. Okay, we don't want Lacerates. I don't know why I'm getting a Squillian Lacerates. Nivellen. So I'm just going to dry pass it and put it back to even cards. Because we don't have Ciri, so a long round might not be good for us. Oh, he managed to thin his deck. Never lucky. Never lucky, all of the baby rage. it's not looking the lacerate recon. That's okay. And then we'll set up our bowman. And then we can set up our weather. Just random Ragnarok there. I can just resin clear this.
This is elven land, Dwan, upon which your kind dies.
We've lived in
isolation I'm not too concerned.
bloody long.
So we could just Ethanate clear skies.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Or we just leave that. I think for now we just leave it. Because if we clear skies, everyone will get boosted by 2 anyway. The other thing we could do is try and recon out a brigade. Which is actually quite likely considering the bronzes that we've played so far.
If anyone's got any hooch left.
Let's try this. Oh, never lucky. So I could go for this, but I risk getting double lacerate. Or we just do this. Play this here.
We've lived
Play
in
this.
isolation for
Do that.
2 bloody long.
And then because we moved her, she also shoots him.
You're dead already.
Okay, we need to kill that. Let's play this. And then we can start stacking things on the back row.
Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
So Pavko, I guess it's the spike trap. In which case we can just clear skies.
Humans have no
Oh, I can't
place in
resurrect clear
Broccolon.
skies. Oh, I did not realize that. That's dumb. So we can double Skellige Storm him. Huh. Learning curve. I shouldn't have played her on that row. We should stack the middle row. Ah, you know what? Like, regardless of where we play units, we're kind of fucked.
I respect nothing human.
He's gonna play another spike trap. So then we should probably pull everyone to one row. So I want to kill her. I really want to kill her. And we can Ard everyone back into the weather, and we can also Nivellen everyone back into the weather.
Not your lucky day.
Let's do that. Stack the middle row. We're not going to get a great Igni, I don't think. We can also pull her out. That's also an option. I guess that's a spy. So let's play him.
Our brothers in the valley.
She'll shoot him, but like he's gonna die anyway. There we go. Not bad. We have 39 points and she has none. The issue is we have a dead Ard. Not dead Ard, dead Igni. Like, Igni's pretty dead. And we have to hope for recon on the Elven Merc.
Some things cannot be forgiven.
Alright, let's just play this and see what we get.
Have strength, my love.
Recon. Hey! That's actually brilliant, because now we can play units in the back row.
This is elven land.
Pull you to the back.
Upon which your kind dies.
Now we're good, because we can play things in the back row, so we can pull things into the weather. And also out of the weather. Like, we're quite safe to play Zoltan
Not
here.
your lucky day.
There we go. The problem is we're stacking, which means like if she lacerates, we're kind of set up for that. And like I said, we have a dead Igni.
Our brothers brothers in the valleys need us.
But I think we're going to have a dead Igni anyway, and this is one of the cards that you can't afford to kind of switch, because it's just not great.
Let's get this over with.
But I'm doing this because I want to wait till he plays more units into the front row so that Nivellen is worth a bit more. Because he inevitably will.
Ah, they used to tire my tongue about that.
There we go. I think we're enough ahead that it's fine.
Bet this'll come as a surprise.
Alza's double cross into... Well, you've played your spy. Oh, it's Nivellen. It's not enough points. Hey, it's all Gucci. We win. But yeah, that's why Igni's maybe a bit questionable in this deck. Sometimes it pays off, but it depends what strategy you're against, you know? And this, she wasn't playing enough big units for it to be an issue. But that's the kind of deck that I've been playing around with. Like I said, it's not finalized. But I wanted to show you guys the PTR and some of the changes. And yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. If you like this deck, hit that thumbs up button. Let me know what sorts of decks you'd like to see. But beyond that, have a fantastic day, and thank you so much for watching. And hopefully I'll catch you in the next video. If you want to follow me on social media, you can find me on Twitter @Jaggerus and on Twitch, twitch.tv/Jaggerus. Thanks for watching, have a great day, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!